Welcome to the sixth episode of Restartnaija. There are many beautiful laws in the Nigerian Constitution, many wonderful laws in the Nigerian Constitution. Yet we wonder why these laws have not been able to address the problems in Nigeria, the problem of political instability and the economic stagnation. The more the National Assembly makes new laws and even strengthens the old laws, the less these laws are known to the people, and then the less they are able to solve the problem in Nigeria. Last week, we spoke about Constitution as a manual for the people living in the community, which is given to them by someone who is superior to them. This week, we are talking about Constitution as a plan, a contract or an agreement between members of a society. I shall be using two different stories to illustrate Constitution as a plan. The first story is the story of Restartnaija community, which had 13 different families, and these 13 families were living, exchanging their ideas, their goods and their services together. At a point, a stranger came to that community and saw beautiful fruits in that Restartnaija community and began picking the beautiful fruits and taking them away. When the members of the Restartnaija community challenged the stranger on picking the fruits, the stranger brought out his gun and began shooting these members of the community. As he began shooting, the rest surrendered. When they had surrendered, the stranger then converted all of them to his slaves and used them to be packing the fruits in their community. At a point, they got tired of living the life of slavery, even in their own land. So, they agreed among themselves to chase away this stranger. They began to observe the stranger, how he manufactures his guns and how he operates those guns. So, when they were through with the observation, they engaged this stranger in a serious battle and defeated him, chased him away from their community, and then they owned back their lands. All the families got rights to their lands again. When they realized that they could do so much by coming together, they decided to stay together. So they made a plan that will guide them on how to live their lives as one. So when they have written this plan and signed on it, all of them agreed. As they lived on, once there was any problem in their way of life, they go back to the plan and adjust the plan so that they will continue living better. The second story is the story of Igena community, which had 17 different families. They share their ideas, share their goods and their services. One day, that same stranger came to this Igena community. He told these people that he wanted to give them something in exchange of the fruits in their land. So he brought plastic cups, plastic spoon, plastic plates, even mirror, and gave to these people in exchange for their fruits. They accepted because they had not seen plastic cup or even mirror before in their life. So they were happy watching themselves in mirror while the stranger was busy collecting all their fruits. At a point, they discovered that this exchange was not favorable to them again. So they told the stranger that they wouldn't continue with the exchange. Immediately they challenged this. The stranger brought out his gun again and started shooting them. As he began shooting, the remaining surrendered. When they surrendered, the stranger now converted all of them to his slaves and then gave them a manual on how to be living in order in that society and how to be supplying the fruits they have in their land. At a point, they got tired of living the life of slavery even in their land. So they met the stranger and told the stranger that they weren't ready to continue living in slavery. The stranger said, okay, no problem. Just have a little patience so that I will give you a new manual that will help you to appreciate your freedom and help you to live it very, very well when I give you your freedom. They agreed. When they had agreed, the stranger brought the manual. He struck out the slave written on the cover of the slave manual and then now wrote Free Man Manual. So he opened the first page and then wrote, "You are now a free man," and covered. but the conditions were still the same. They still don't have family individual rights to their lands. Now they have to have the rights together and then maintain the supply of fruits to the stranger's land. When the stranger had given them this free man manual, he also gave his gun to a member of one of the families to ensure that the people stay in order and then continue to provide the fruits to the stranger's place. When the stranger had gone, these 17 families tried to live together using the stranger's manual, but it wasn't working out because it was not meant for them. It was actually meant to supply more fruit to the stranger. When they got uncomfortable, some families advocated for a change of this plan, of this manual. But the family who received the gun refused, said that they wouldn't change anything because the manual has been given by the superior being. When these 3 families wanted to leave, now the family with the gun began shooting those 3 families. Those 3 families were defending. So this family with the gun went and invited the stranger who brought in bigger guns and started shooting those 3 families. As he was shooting those 3 families, the remaining people surrendered, said no problem. Now we surrender back the right to our land. When these 3 families had surrendered, the family with the gun now appointed 13 obedient members from different families to come and deliberate on how they were supposed to live together under the manual of the stranger. When they gathered, they were not able to argue because of the fear of the gun. They still accepted to live their rights. Now, these families are not able to access the fruits in their land. They only supply the fruits in their land to the stranger. They cannot make fruit juice from their fruits. They only wait for the stranger to make fruit juice and supply to them to drink. It seems I've forgotten how the story ended. However, I'll give you an assignment. The first assignment: which of these 2 communities, Remia and the Igena, has a plan for peace and progress? The second: which of these 2 communities represents the United States of America? Number 3: does any of these communities represent Nigeria? If yes, which one? Don't just answer this or that. Give the reasons for your answer. Then number 4: how can Igena community as it is live a life of peace and progress, peace and freedom, given the manual they have received from the stranger and the possibility of them having a manual of their own? Send in your answers to restartnaija.com. In the next episode, we shall discuss the difference between manual and plan for a community. Make sure you share this video with at least 15 people who are up to the age of social reasoning, because when we all see the problem, then we can appreciate the problem that we are in and we are ready to solve it when it's time for us to do that. Thank you for watching the 6th episode of Restart Naija. God bless you and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I'm still your host, Chukwuike Enokwechi.